Guys, it's Sarah with Grassroots Evolution, and I'm here today to bring you a monthly message for the sign of Scorpio for June 2020. So keep in mind it is a general message, my friends. Take what you feel resonates on a soul level, disregard the rest, as well as know that no matter what messages come through today, it's still up to you and how you integrate this guidance, your active free will, the chances you take and the steps you take forward in this world, my friends. As well as time is fluid, so if you encounter this message and it's speaking to you about a past situation or it hasn't quite occurred yet, just keep an open mind. And if you encounter this past 2020, it still may be for you. So for all my subscribers, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart as well. And if you're new to my channel, please feel free and subscribe if this resonates. Join the journey with me and let me encounter your energy more often. It'd be awesome to have you along this ride. So I'm just going to take a moment and call in Spirit, call in Archangel Michael and Archangel Metatron and my team of light. I'm going to ask them to guide, guard, bless, and protect myself, this reading, and any of you who would ask for it, to use me as the clearest channel possible, as well as to deliver only messages for the highest good of those of us watching. So I'm going to start off today with a message from the Healing with the Angels Oracle to get an overarching energy on what the angels would like you to know, what kind of focus we should have this month, or if there's any energy to be aware of. So Spirit, what would you have Scorpio know? So, nature. This is a really wonderful card. It's gorgeous outside as well. June is one of these beautiful months that before the hot heat comes, except for we've been experiencing, I live in Canada, it's been a strange month. It's kind of like Gemini season for real, because it's not quite sure. Does it want to be hot? Does it want to be cool? Right? But this is saying, you know what, get out, spend some time in nature. This is really awesome in your transformation, I heard as well. You know, take a walk in the woods, smell the air, listen to the trees blowing in the wind, and notice all the changes. As well as I feel like we can learn a lot about transformation from nature. It goes through many cycles within the year, and that sometimes things may appear dead, but they come back. And that's something really here too, is that nature is resilient. So for some of you, you may find a lot of peace and clarity and harmony sitting in nature. So what else would you have us know, please, Spirit? Thank you. So dreams, music, and retreat came out. And I was looking here. She's not, I thought she was playing a harp, but she's not. She's just sort of holding on to a tree here, but she has flowers in her hand. Paying attention to music, listening to music, creating music, this kind of stuff can really uplift our spirits as well. For some of you, you may want to get out in nature. If you've got, you know, your phone or something that plays music on it, you may want to listen to some calming meditative music, sit outside and allow Spirit to speak to you that way. For some of you, this is also, I feel like, because she's blowing the trumpet here, it's asking you to speak your truth. It's asking you to go with the rhythm of your own life, as well as that to pay attention to the frequencies, the sound vibrations that you hear as well, and to keep an open mind, because music is what we make it. For some people, we listen to music and, whoa, that hurts my ears, and other people, that's what calms and soothes them. But music can be found in nature. Again, I'm hearing whale music as well. If any of you are familiar with this, if you're not familiar with it, you should check it out, YouTube it. Whales talk. They communicate with sounds, and under the ocean, the way it is, it's very, very musical, very, very harmonious. But as well as this is, when we sit in nature, I heard you could be channeling frequencies, but the vibrations that we're getting, they may be very, very healing, and we're also going to be emitting our vibrations out. So being in nature, calming our soul, I feel like, is important. We have dreams, and we had retreat. Retreat could be done in nature, it could be done in your house, it could be done somewhere, just getting out by yourself to take some time to contemplate nature, contemplate your feelings. This could also be dreams, but I feel like this means to take yourself out of a social scene for a while to get right with yourself. So in terms of dreams, some of you may be experiencing collective dreams. You may be experiencing dreams that speak on a wider basis than you may understand. They may be past life dreams. There may be Very, very prophetic information in your dreams as well. You may be dream sharing as well as what I'm hearing. So for some of you, you may want to write down your dreams. What's the importance of them? And spend some time in nature. For others of you, if this has nothing to do with the dreams while you're sleeping, this may be allow yourself to daydream. Allow yourself to imagine different ways of being and different worlds that you can create. And some of this is really important to spend some time alone. This card right here, this top card, harmony. That's what it is. Harmony comes in nature as well. When we're balanced within ourselves, we're calm, we're peaceful. And this is important with the music as well, because he is playing this violin, you know, walking along, allowing his tune to shine, allowing his truth to speak as well, is what I'm hearing. So let's see one more message, please. Thank you. And you get miracles. Expect miracles this month. This has been one of these collective messages as well. A lot of the signs I've been doing have been getting miracles. June is a wonderful month. We have a lot. We've had a lunar eclipse. I believe we're about to have a solar eclipse. And that's clearing out old energy that's going to allow new wonderful energy to come to our being. So spending time in nature, for some of you as well, this may be getting out, looking at the stars, looking at the moon. And this harmony is at night as well. Not being afraid to walk outside at night, because even though there may be darkness out here, there's still vibrancy and life outside. Pay attention to your dreams, expect miracles, and dream big as well, is what the message there is. So I'm going to go now to the Sacred Rebels Oracle. At the bottom we have She Feels, She Knows. You know, oh, new love. They wanted me to look at the bottom of this. Some of you, you may be getting a new love into your life. This may be a new love for life, or a rekindled romance within your life. Just take it how it applies for you. With She Feels, She Knows, this is saying, you know, deep down inside, you may feel that you are meant for bigger and better things. You may not exactly know how it's all going to pan out. You may not even have a full understanding of what it is that you're meant to do in this world. But what I would say is keep in mind and that you are becoming who you're meant to be. So I'm going to ask a message. Bring it into form. And another message here for Scorpio, please, for the month of June 2020. Okay, so we have Seeing the Real You, and then these three fell out. Trust yourself. Conscious connections. For some of you with dream sharing, that's what I felt like as well. And the last one is going beyond normal. Seeing the extraordinary in this world. Bring it into form. If you can see, there's sacred geometry in every step and every footprint that she takes. And there's magic in each and every step there. If there's something that you've been working on, if there's a project you've been planning on doing, if there is a relationship that you feel is starting to bud, this is also the month that's saying, you know what, it's time to actualize this. For some of you, you may have been trying to manifest this as well. And I feel like with some of those miracles that are coming in, that may actually be something that you see this month. That things are starting to fall in place. The puzzle pieces are starting to click together. And you're starting to get a better understanding of the bigger picture on how you may actually incorporate this into your world. How you may actually roll this plan out. Seeing to the true you as well as asking you not to see a facade, not to see who you are as in terms of the projections that we may put outwards, to see deep down inside, who are you? You know, when you look in the mirror, are you loving, are you kind toward yourself, or are you very, very critical? I feel like as well, this is asking you this month, that this month, what do we want to bring into form most of all? An authentic version of ourselves. One where we trust ourselves. We trust our inner knowings. We trust who we are. We trust who we're supposed to be. And even if we don't have all the answers yet, we're willing to let our soul guide us on this journey. With conscious connections, we're being aware of the energy that we're putting towards people, and as well as how we're feeling other people. We're being conscious in the way that we interact with other people. We're being loving. We're being kind. We're not, I heard, like, we're not doing things to damage them, but we're also seeing other people as our mirror. So if we see something in another that we don't like, okay, why was I judging? Why did that come to me? And is there something within myself that I need to work on? As well as, did they trigger me? Was there something they were doing that triggered me? Was I dreaming about another person? And if in that case, what was this dream about? Potentially, maybe they're dreaming of you too. Going beyond normal. Understanding that sometimes some of the insights that we get, they're divinely guided. And this is also, I feel like, this third eye with the clock there. Time is fluid and it is absolutely an illusion, but when it is time for miracles to come, they come. And when it is time for us to bring into form what we're meant to be in this world, it will come. So pay attention to any thoughts or inspiration that you get. And some of you, this nature in this retreat, some of you may be getting divinely orchestrated things, like it's going to pay, oh my gosh, I'm all tongue-tied, guys. But it's like whatever events are happening, trust that they are divinely orchestrated to make you become the person you're supposed to be in this world. I'm going to get a message from the book. And we're going to read a little bit of, I feel like, going beyond the normal. And I want to read some of this, bring it into form for you guys. They brought me to seeing the true you too. So I'm going to read you a little bit of that. The messages in this book are so wonderful. Sometimes we believe that what others tell us, as though the self we reflected back to us through their eyes is the truth. Yet the accuracy of the reflection depends on the clarity of that which is doing the reflecting. If the receiver forms any opinion about what is perceived, then what is reflected back to us will at best be distorted. It is not necessarily through ill will, it is just the mechanics of the situation. Even the moon reflects the sun in varying degrees of fullness and clarity. We can learn something of nature of the sun from the moon, but not as much through this perception, direct perception. This oracle has come to you because you have been putting rather too much faith in the reflections of others, to the point that you might not be honoring all that you are and all that you are becoming because you believe too little in yourself. There may be those around you that are able to reflect you more faithfully and even see you more of your own greatness and beauty. These are the blessed souls with inner stillness. In the clear waters of the ocean of consciousness, you can come to recognize yourself with clearer perception. However, there are those that have not tended to their own ocean and are unable to be still enough to genuinely receive and reflect your light back to you. There is no judgment here. Each takes the path of self-healing that is available and appropriate at any given time. However, to attempt to see the magnificence of a sun in a very partial moon doesn't make any sense. So there's a healing process here as well. There's more to the book, but I think we get the gist, especially with conscious connections. If we've got other people around us who are judgy, who are not capable of seeing our light because they're surrounded by their own darkness, or if you've got individuals around you who are extremely jaded, you're not going, any reflection they're giving of you, that's not a true reflection. So trying to see yourself through your own lens and through a calm and still, rather than trying to base your opinion of yourself on how others are looking at you. And if the connections in your world are that kind of depleted or jaded individuals, judgy, uncaring, or if nothing's ever good enough, if you have narcissistic individuals in your midst, know that any reflection from that cannot be trusted. You need to trust yourself. So, the healing process. You can say this with me, you can listen to it, you can come back to it. But it says, I now break any contract I have ever made with another, consciously or unconsciously, that has given them power over me. Power over my sense of self, the authority to approve or reject me or anything about me, including my voice, body, creativity, spirituality, and way of living. On my own free will, I now choose to directly perceive my own inner beauty and turn within with kindness and compassion to see myself through the eyes of unconditional love. So be it. And this is such a wonderful message. Release the hold of how other people think of you. If you need to, again, spending time in nature, getting in tune with nature, and doing things for you, listening to the music that you like. Here's a silly example, okay? But people will put you down, or me, for me, this is personally, I like country music. For those of you who don't like country music, to each their own, right? But there are those people who will put you down because they don't like country music. And you must be all of these different things, redneck, hillbilly, blah, 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 to like this horrible music. Well, thanks a lot. That made me feel great, right? If there's people who put down the things that you like and they put down everything about you, they're not your people. Speak up and say, you know what, I'm done. You don't need to treat me like this. I am my own individual, and I have every right to see myself as beautiful and perfect and authentic in the here and now. And perfect doesn't mean that you do all the perfect things at the perfect time. I feel like it means that you're willing to expand, you're willing to grow, you're willing to learn lessons, and you're willing to change where change needs to come, and you're trusting yourself. You're focusing on how you feel about you, not how other people are feeling about you. And I find this interesting. We have a 41 and a 14. So bring it into form is number 41. Beautiful dreamer. You can imagine wonderful worlds of light. You can dream up so many possibilities. Now it is time to bring those possibilities of light into the world. They need to be more than ideas. They need to live, manifest. The world needs not only your dreams, beautiful as they are, but your creations. Get thee to thy desk, thy easel, thy computer. Work, beautiful dreamer. Don't just dream, create. You are being asked to honor yourself with a commitment to complete your inspired tasks. This will help you to grow, and that is a wonderful reason to commit. But there is another reason too. You know that your ideas are worth translating into practical forms so that other people can access them and experience something special too. So if you've been thinking about writing a book, if you've been thinking about starting your own YouTube channel, making more content for your YouTube channel, if you've been thinking about artwork, if you've been thinking about opening a business, making blankets, crocheting, whatever it is, making special food, okay, to feed your family, these are still things that are brought into form. And they don't just benefit you, they benefit others greatly. Spirit's asking you as well, trust that. See yourself clearly. And if you have a naysayer around who says, that idea is never going to work, don't listen to them. If you know in your heart it's good, it's good. And if it doesn't succeed, if it's a failure in terms of it's not successful, you still created something. So that's never a failure. And in terms of the only people here who ever really fail are those that never tried in the first place. And oftentimes the people who put our ideas down and naysay us are the ones that wouldn't have the courage in the first place to put their light out there for other people to see. Shine your light bright. Don't let someone else tell you what you're capable of. And I'm going to say number 14 now. Okay, so there is a healing process as well. This affirmation I want to read to you before we get to number 14. I am energized and empowered to bring my ideas to life. I release any fear that they won't live up to the perfection of my ideas or fantasies. I give them permission to become what they want to be in service to life. In releasing these ideas into form, I open up to receive new ideas and inspirations. I am helped with this process through unconditional love for the greater good. So be it. as well as if we have inspiration. All we can think about is this inspiration. I want to do it, I want to do it, I want to do it. We don't have any more room to receive more inspiration. So the more we bring this stuff into form and we create, the more we get more inspiration and more inspiration. And I feel in this way, practice makes perfect. There's also something I'm being guided to say about perfectionism. If we hold ourselves back because we feel we can't be perfect, we'll never do anything. Release the feeling of needing to be perfect. Sure, think about writing. Maybe it's not perfect right away. Maybe it's not what you want, but it's a first draft. Get the first draft out, and then you can edit as you need to. However this is for you. Some of you, you may want to be creating beautiful music as well. Some of you may be musicians, and don't keep that beautifulness to yourself. Share that with the world, because you think about a lot of music. People who wrote that may have been experiencing various emotions at the time, and how many people have they helped? So number 14, before we move into the tarot. For any of you who don't appreciate the reading of the book, I apologize, but I feel like the messages are so important, and that this one as well, it speaks right to my soul. So I feel like if it speaks to my soul, it may speak to your soul as well. Going beyond the normal. So if I've triggered you at all, if I've made you feel something, use this empowered vulnerability. How can you use it in your day-to-day to create positive change in your world? On the path of life, there are deciding moments where we can choose to go with the mainstream, or we can dare to take a bolder, more authentic and trusting way, even if it seems riskier and less safe. To rely solely on logic and science without incorporating the mysterious and magical is a recipe for an existence that is far too dry. The sacred rebel within our hearts will always choose a juicier approach to life. You are currently approaching such choice point. You could say that the choice is about balance. It is less about choosing to honor either art or science, gardening or architecture, the more about integrating all approaches so that you enhance rather than hinder your life's journey. You may have pressures around you from the world or from your own conditioned nature to do things according to rules, to a deadline, or to the accepted mainstream view that you need a well thought out plan for success in a commercial venture. However, sometimes the best plan is to do what feels intuitively truthful in the moment and to trust that you are being led towards your own growth. Adopting this approach means you have to do far less planning and far more living. It is a pure and heart-centered way to manifest your art, your life path, and your essence into practical expression in this world. It involves a willingness to be led by nature, instead of trying to control the powerful force of life, which is a bit like trying to fit a proverbial ocean in a teacup. It is far more intelligent to allow the ocean to be the ocean and to learn to swim in it, rather than trying to cram in a vessel that is much too small. So the healing process here. I call on unconditional love now and ask for the blessings of the heart to be witnessed and sanctioned by the great universal creator, so that I may rise above small-mindedness and use the best of what human culture has to offer in service to love through my own free will. So be it. And it says here, you can visualize yourself. Imagine the feeling of being in a most gorgeous garden. It may be well manicured, a little bit wild, or widely overgrown. Take the time to notice it. Notice how the plants work together, how it is supported by nature and the seasons. Notice that while some other things thrive, others fall away, only to shift with the seasons, because there is so much organizational genius. May the wisdom and guiding hand of the great gardener who works with unconditional love nurture the garden of my soul into magnificence. I dare to live creatively for my heart and thrive. Your life is like this garden. Sometimes, like I was saying earlier, plants are resilient. Sometimes things that you thought were dead, they come back to life miraculously. And sometimes things that we think that we were saving, well, they just don't work there anymore. And sometimes we have to dig up plants in our garden and move things around. And this is just like our own worlds. I feel like you have something in your brain, my dears, that is so beneficial to everyone on this earth that it needs to be shared, regardless how anybody else feels about it. And I hope that resonated. I'm going to bring a message here from the Guardian Tarot, or Little Tarot Wisdom, for anyone who's watching. So, thank you. We get the Seven of Wands, the Eight of Wands, so there's progression. The Eight of Pentacles, so I'm going to show you. Seven of Wands, Eight of Wands. And this is for sure for me traveling forward. The Eight of Pentacles, I feel it's important it's in the reverse because maybe there's a lesson that's still not learned yet. And I feel like one of the biggest lessons this is to really trust yourself. And that it's okay to go against conventional ways of being, societal conventional ways of thinking. It's okay to be a divine rebel. We get here the Three of Wands. So this traditionally is about waiting. This is about unity. This is about unity consciousness as well, working in mind, body, and spirit. Also working with your own soul, working with the heavens, and being grounded and stable where you are. This being in the reverse, there may be blocks to that. So we'll get to that in a minute. I have the Ace of Swords here. And I feel like because there's still lessons to be learned, and maybe we're not quite ready to work in harmony, this could also be it's done waiting. We've waited so long with this Three of Wands because often the Three of Wands is waiting for your ships to come in. With the Four of Wands, they're here. So this I feel like as well is like, you know what? The lesson is to learn. Don't wait until you feel the time is absolutely perfect. Sometimes the time to do it is when the time to do it is. And if you have to go back and fix it, great. But the thing is too, practice makes perfect. If you watch your, like for example, my first YouTube video, I sometimes watch it and I cringe, right? Because it's like, oh my gosh, we get better at everything every time we do something. So I'm sure if you've written songs, if you've done art, the first thing you did maybe wasn't your best, but you get better every time. You learn new techniques. It's time to stop waiting for the time to be perfect and just to put yourself out there. And this is really important in starting your own way. I feel like this Ace of Swords is a new way of thinking. We also have the Six of Pentacles here, about being stable and grounded and really enjoying the earthly pleasures here, as well as I feel like it's about friendship and camaraderie with this guardian and this horse. And you have the Two of Pentacles, which is often the Two of Pentacles is about a balancing and a juggling act. And I feel like you may have to figure out how to juggle maybe your current commitments with what you want to do forward. Whatever endeavor it is that you want to bring into form, it may have to balance things out. This Six of Pentacles is also about balance. And these two being an earthly, both being about balance, I feel like you just need to figure out in your mind on how can I balance this stuff out? How can I stay loyal to my other commitments while I pursue this new endeavor? With the Seven of Wands, Spirit literally has your back for how you move forward. This particular one, sometimes the Seven of Wands is about hardships, is about competition, is about confusion on how to go, is people blocking your path. But this one is not about people blocking your path. This one is about transformation as well, and moving along that transformation, feeling empowered to do so, because the book actually talks about Spirit literally has your back for you to move forward in this endeavor. And I feel like as well, because it's a 7, it's so strongly divinely guided here. With the 8 of Wands as well, this is often, it could be quick insights, it could be travel, it could also be that you're exploring more of time, that you're also connecting with your root, not your root, my gosh, your crown, but you may want to be connecting with your root chakra here so that you're staying grounded and balanced throughout this, but also connecting with the heavens. And this also discusses that Trinity again, the mind, the body, the spirit. And I feel like this is also, you know, upper worlds, middle earth, and lower earth. If any of you are into shamanic work, I feel like that could be really important as well. For some of you with this dreams, you may want to go on a vision quest. You may want to engage in meditation. You may want to have some shamanic work done to ask Spirit, you know what, from here, where do I go? How do I tie in my current self in this physical reality to what I'm meant for in this bigger world? This new way of thinking, this could be conversations with other people as well. This could be so many different things, but I feel like this is saying, you know what? Your ideas are inspired, and it's time to allow them to flourish. It's time to move forward, and it's time to feel supported to do that. I want to show you, they show me the bottom of the deck here, which is the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles, and you have the Empress. So I'm going to keep those two, and then I'll leave you with this. Because the Empress is creative. She's nurturing. She's loving. She's the divine feminine aspect of this earth. And we all carry both the masculine and feminine polarities. But this is creative. What can you create? What can you nurture? The Seven of Pentacles knows that we may be here, but here's our path with the sun at the end leading to success. It is okay for you to continue on your path. You are divinely inspired to do so. And with this Empress, you're being asked to move forward. The Page of Cups is on the bottom after that too, because I feel like it's asking